Hey everybody. What I got going on today? I have a John Deere backhoe. I was out on a job yesterday and they broke the left rear wheel off of it. So I went down there yesterday afternoon and drilled all the bolts. Actually, I only drilled one bolt. Ended up welding nuts and washers to the bolts. And got them out of the axle. The axle's pretty mangled. Ended up fixing all the holes in it and doctored the face of the axle up. But the wheel is in really bad shape. And I can't get a wheel for a couple days. And they need the backhoe on the job. So, oatmeal cookie in my teeth. I ended up bringing the wheel back. And it's cold out. It's like 15, a little under 15 degrees. So I went out this morning and I cut a plate. I didn't take you out there because, like I said, it's cold. But I cut this nice little plate and I went into the computer then and I made up a, I don't know if you're going to be able to read it. That is a stencil for my bolt pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer that stencil to that circle, and that is 3/8 plate, and then I'm going to come over here. This wheel is double thickness, so I'm going to clean all the paint off of there, lay the plate in there, arranged like such that it needs to be in the bolt pattern, weld that back in to fix this, and then I will flip the wheel over and I will weld all the holes back up on it and open the bolt holes back up so I can go and put a wheel back on this morning, and they have a machine again until they get the proper wheel. So I'll get you back once I start drilling. I got a lot of cleanup work, but I gotta get this done. But if I don't get you back, that just gives you the gist of what's going on, and sometimes things you gotta do so the job can keep going. Alright, y'all have a good day. See ya. Quick story. I'm still drilling that. I don't know if you can see it. But you notice I don't have gloves on. And there's a reason for that. It goes back to, let me sit you down. That might work. This goes back to like 2005. Somewhere around there. At the time, I was working up in Hazleton. I was working for a coal company up there. And we were in shutdown for some reason. I think one of our drag lines broke down. I don't know for sure. I don't remember. But since we were in shutdown, my buddy owned an independent welding shop. And I always worked independent. In the mines you have UMWA and then you have your bootleggers. And I was part of the bootleggers, the independent miners. We actually worked in a job site where one side of the road was UMWA and the other side was independent. Well, I said I went down with my buddy. We went to a concrete aggregate mine down in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. I worked down there for 2 weeks. And it is UMWA site, but they had outside contractors in. And every morning we had to go to a safety meeting. And there was like 100, 150 workers down there, maintenance guys. And what we were doing is we built a frame with a backhoe. It was an old like 580 case backhoe stick, and we put a rock pecker on it. And the framework was to hang up the side of the high wall right at their crusher inlet for when they dump too big a rock in. They could sit there with a rock pecker and pound away at it and bust it up. So my job was mainly I had to drill the rock so that we could anchor this hydraulic rock pecker in. Well, like I said, we had these safety meetings every morning. And you had to have PPE on for your safety meeting. You had to have PPE on all day long. You had to have a hard hat on, you had to have safety glasses on, and you needed to have gloves on at all times, including at the safety meeting. Well, my surface mine hat, my bump hat, was just standard construction hard hat. And I always wore it backwards. And on the back of it, there was a big middle finger. And it said UMWA underneath it. And here we are every day. We'd go into these safety meetings. And all the other independent guys are like, yo, can't you just wear a different hard hat? Nope. So I did my job that I was supposed to. And I didn't have to, but my buddy wanted me to help him get these plates ready. And they were like 16-foot long, 3/8 inch plates, like 5 inches thick. And there was a whole bunch of them. So what I did was I went through and I tack welded them all. I stacked them all up and I tack welded them all together. And I had to drill like every foot. I had to drill a hole down through it. The 5/8 drill bit. And the drill press they had was only a small table on it. Well, I set this stack of steel on it, and I start drilling through, and their safety guy comes because I didn't have a clamp down on the workbench on the drill press. And he says, "You gotta get that affixed to the table. You gotta get it fastened to the table." I said, "It ain't gonna go anywhere." "Nope, you gotta get it fastened to the table." 16-foot long piece of steel that's, it was probably 3 inches thick or so. Once I had it all tack welded together, I'd snap a 5/8 bit right off that bit grab. It's not gonna helicopter that. And not to mention, it would have had to come across the post, the back post of the drill press. Wasn't gonna happen. But I had to follow the rules, so I had to put a C-clamp in. And I had a C-clamp fastened to the table. And I got complacent, I'm drilling, and right before I'd go to punch through, I'd punch through and then I'd stop and I'd undo the clamp and I'd slide it down, center it all up, clamp it down, drill down through it, and it never moved. So got to the point where I was hanging on the drill press with my left arm, and I reached in to start loosening the clamp up so that I could be more productive, more speed. And like I said, it had a small table on it. And I reached in, I had a pair of leather work gloves, canvas back. Y'all know what they are, them bluish gray ones with the red stripes or whatever. And as I reached in the canvas back, the bit caught hold of the canvas back. And it ripped my hand around, it twisted that canvas back up, and ripped my arm around into the drill press. I thought it broke my wrist. It didn't. All it did was just hurt like a son of a bitch. But it stalled the drill press out. And because the way I was leaning, when it pulled me in, the shutoff switch was actually on the side of the drill press arm. And my right arm was twisted in, so I was pulled to the opposite side. It stalled the press out, and I'm sitting there trying to get my hand to the shutoff. I got it shut off, and I tell you right now, after that, I never wore gloves running a drill press. You might catch me every now and then but I'll never wear canvas back gloves running the drill press ever again. So that's why sometimes PPE is required. PPE is personal protective equipment. Never would have happened if I wouldn't have got my hand that close to it. I needed to slow down, but I was always raised time is money. So I was trying to be productive, and instead I got tangled up in a drill press. So them little warning signs you see where the guy's all twisted up in the drill press, that they probably took a picture of me that day. So, alright everyone, see ya. Alright everybody, the wheel is back together, reinvented the wheel. So now I gotta load up and go put it back on the machine, but that will handle it. Probably not the recommended repair procedure. Gotta get the job done, they need the machine. It'll work till they get the wheel.